Hello, welcome to episode 40 of the Isla Paradiso bunch. We're still in France with Hayley, Josephine, Judy, Jeannie, Sam, Diana, Craig and Muriel. Now I'm showing you pictures of the train because I don't have a screenshot of when Sam got this adventure. So I thought I'd let you watch the train while I read it out to you. It's trouble at the museum. Help! As the curator of the museum, I'm responsible for the safekeeping of its relics, art and treasures. Unfortunately, the security guards are abandoning their posts. I am in need of a brave soul to assist me at the museum. Interested parties are to speak to me, Berthe Gerard, at their earliest convenience. So Sam tracks Berthe Gerard down to her relic shop, where he reports in to offer his assistance. And she says, this is the on patrol adventure, "Oh, thank goodness, there is somebody else in Champs-les-Symmes who cares remotely for the museum's well-being. For some inexplicable reason, security guards are quitting. They just up and leave, and they will not tell me why. Something is going on here, and I intend to get to the bottom of it. In the meantime, I'd like you to patrol the museum. Investigate the gallery and see if you can find anything." Objective: investigate the Egyptian gallery in the museum, then report to Berthe Gerard to receive some simoleons. Reward: simoleons and visa points. So here's Sam. He is setting off to the museum. He's got to find the Egyptian gallery and just check out to see what he can find in there. And when he discovers something, he will go back and report into Berthe Gerard. Hasn't found it yet, but he's enjoying what he's seeing in the museum. Now that looks interesting, a sarcophagus. A king's sarcophagus. It's a golden king's sarcophagus too. Hello, he's found something. He's got to report in. Looks like all you've got to do is walk through that door to make a major discovery. So off he goes back to Berthe Gerard in the relics shop. We get to go back and forth a few times before we start the actual tomb. There is a tomb involved, and that is what most of this video is about. Sam investigating the tomb that's under the museum. Berthe Gerard is delighted to see Sam when he gets back to her relic shop. She says, "Excellent. I'm glad you were able to complete the rounds. It's so hard to find good help here in Champs-les-Symmes. Here is the fee for your help, 400 simoleons and 20 visa points." And then she has another little job for him. "Something in the Chinese exhibit. You didn't find anything. You know, I've heard some guards mention they used to hear noises near the Chinese exhibit. Could you explore the exhibit and snoop around a tad and see if you can find anything?" Objective: investigate the Chinese exhibit within the museum. Then report to Berthe Gerard to receive some simoleons. Reward: simoleons and visa points. So there he is. Sam's gone straight to the Chinese exhibit, and there is a hole in the wall and a message on the wall as well. So he's going to have to investigate that hole in the wall. And he might read the message. I think it says something about the museum is being upgraded and you can't go down those steps right now. So that's no great news. But what's he going to find in that hole in the wall? Aha. it's opened something. He's got to report in. It's a nice little museum there, isn't it? But Sam doesn't have time to investigate what's inside the museum. He's got to run back and report in to Bertha Gerard. But we might as well have a little look while he's running back. So Sam's got quite a way to go to get back. There's that bit of broken road that got appeared there in the middle of nowhere after a patch at one stage. Now Sam's about to enter Bertha Gerard's shop, where she's very pleased to see him. And she says, "Interesting. A secret passage? Here's your fee for more good work." Sam earned 600 simoleons and 30 visa points. But she's got another job for him. Strange sounds. I'll bet the noises are coming from somewhere behind that secret door. Please investigate and see if you can find the source of the noise. Hopefully you can stop it. Whatever it is. Objective: investigate the hidden area and find the source of the noises. So here begins Sam's adventure through the tomb under the museum. Now, earlier, when Sam investigated that hole in the wall in the Chinese exhibit, there was a secret door that opened outside, and it leads to a passage along the outside of the building. And at the end of that passage is a door that Sam is about to go through. I hope you don't mind dark places, because we're going down into the tomb under the museum. Down a little flight of steps, and now down another flight of steps. And Sam finds himself under the museum. There's a couple of pushable statues, and there's also some arrows on the floor that let you know that there could be something there that you need to investigate. So the first thing he's going to do is pull that switch. It's actually not a switch, it's a light. But if he pulls that, something will happen because there's an arrow. There you go. It's revealed 2 floor switches that he's got to push a pushable statue onto. This is not usually where I start. There's another door, a hidden door there that I normally start with, but we're starting this way for this game. It doesn't really matter. The other hidden door just finds treasures. This one will lead us into the next part of the tomb. So he's got another pushable statue to push as well. So nothing happens when he does that, because he's got to get the other one on the other floor switch before. And there he's found that other hidden door. So he'll investigate that next. That pushable statue is sitting there ready to get pushed onto the floor switch while he investigates this hidden door. It only leads into a room with treasures in it, but it's worth going in there to get the coins. He needs ancient coins, doesn't he? Because they want to buy the Eye of Horus to help them find treasures that are hidden deeply in these tombs. It's a fairly big room, considering there's nothing much in it. And a treasure chest. It's got a tiny relic in it that's probably worth about 2 simoleons. Looks like a fossilized apple or something, or a stone apple, I think. So now, if he wants to continue, he's going to have to push that pushable statue onto that floor switch. And it opens a hidden door. And out he goes to another treasure chest and a pushable statue. So he's going to do the treasure chest first. That looks like a nice plumb bob cut rainbow gem, or one of those more valuable gems anyway. And there is a hole in the floor. It was underneath that pushable statue. And it reveals another floor switch. So come on, just keep pushing that pushable statue and you will see what happens next. This is the main part of this particular video, is the completion of this tomb under the library. Not the library, it's under the museum. Nothing much to do in there. Everything's all roped off. But he can have a look. Sit on the seat if he wants to. Have a little nap. You could probably put a tent up in there if you came in here and your sim was tired already. Oh well, he sat on both seats and nothing happened. And he's checked the walls and there's no other hidden door, so just keep on going. He's going to decide to stand there and look at everything. Sometimes viewing things, though, will trigger an event somewhere else in the tomb. I've never been able to find my way into this particular part of the tomb. On the left-hand side there's a door there with a chain on it, and I've never been able to find a way to open that chain. I think I have a vague idea that once, way back in the very beginning of World Adventures, I did get it off, but I never went in through the door, and I've never been able to get it off since. So I'm thinking I was either imagining it, or I did something that is no longer has any effect. Just cut out about a minute of him running around in circles, viewing things and sitting on seats. It was a bit boring, so let's just go through that door and go to the next part of the tomb. So it looks like there's a door in front of him that is not locked, but the others are all got it locked with a chain. So go straight through that one, and looks like it might have opened up that hidden door, which will obviously shut on him as soon as he gets near it. Grab that money bag out of the treasure chest, and we'll have to go looking back this way. Now look, he's opened that door there. He can open that door there now. So he's got to come back and go through that door. So let's see what's up further. That door that's shut on him's opened again now. But there's that pushable statue on the left at the bottom of the screen. It's got a slightly different colour coming from under it, I think. Can he move that top one? Those colours are different. Yeah. I wonder if those other two are pushable. So he's locked in there now. So he has to move that statue. So it's opened a different door. He can't go out the way he went in. He's got to go through that other door. And there's a treasure chest. What's he going to find? The French signet of the museum catacombs. That's another of the tomb collection that they've got for the household. Hopefully they'll get them all soon. So he still hasn't unlocked that door yet. But aha, where he moved that pushable statue from has now got a floor plate that he can stand on. And it's had a bit of an effect. It's opened that door that was locked before, and it's changed the way the wall traps work. So he can't go through that one straight ahead now. He's got to go around. And that door stayed open for him this time, and there is where he's got it. What he's got to do is mourn. If you've got to mourn at the grave, I know that. Right of your screen, it says, "Thank you for paying your respects. Allow me to show you the hidden exit that I was unable to find before my demise." So there, that hidden door has opened, and it's had his way out. Otherwise, he's stuck in there forever. The next thing he's got to do is read that message on the wall, which will tell him what he's got to do next, the curator's final exhibit. It seems the unfortunate former curator met his demise inside the sarcophagus of his own exhibit. Place his remains inside his family chest, located in the cemetery in Champs-les-Symmes, for the curator to finally have peace. Objective: place the remains inside the chest at the Champs-les-Symmes cemetery. Now, if you look in his inventory, you will discover he has a skeleton now that he's carrying around with him. So he's got to get out of this particular tomb. He's got to go down the steps. He'll find treasures on his way out too. So there's a treasure chest. That's his first treasure. These rooms are so tiny. He's got some ancient coins there. Yes, these rooms are all so tiny, it's very hard to show them properly. Just come up that set of steps and there's another treasure chest. You need to look in those holes in the wall or the niches there where the skeletons are, because sometimes he's got a dropper stone there. Sometimes you'll find things in there with the skeletons, but not always. And there's hopefully the final set of steps. Now he is outside the museum. He's got out of the tomb and he's got to go to the graveyard, which is over there. And at the back of the graveyard, he will find a series of little buildings that he's got to work his way through. I always start at that right-hand end, and I don't think you could come from the other direction from the way the puzzle is set up. So he's on his way straight into the first little room, and in that room he finds a treasure chest, which he will, of course, open. And I can see on the left of the screen there's a hole in the floor, and he's just found a heart keystone. I'm sure he'll need to use that, but I'd like him to be able to keep it. Looks like he needs to insert his heart keystone in that treasure chest. Some ancient coins and a money bag. I always feel let down when I only get a tiny reward for using a keystone. Sometimes you get big rewards and sometimes you don't in these particular treasure chests when you go through this, do this part of the challenge. Aha, so this is the one that stumped me for a while when I first played the game. Couldn't work out what to do. Eventually it clicked. You take the keystone out and then you put the skeleton in. And that's it. Success with the haunting. The haunting is at an end. Bertha Gerard will surely be placed at ease if Sam tells her the entire story. Objective: explain everything to Bertha Gerard to receive some simoleons. Now Sam's got one more mausoleum to investigate, and that requires his heart keystone. I always think twice, do I use the keystone here or not? And I usually do because I'm too curious. This time he's done okay. Sometimes you get virtually nothing. Sometimes you get good stuff, but mainly you get not very much. Because after I do it, I then wish I hadn't used the keystone. So now he's got to run off and explain everything to Bertha Gerard. When he gets there, he tells her, by placing the remains inside the mausoleum, the unfortunate curator was able to peacefully depart the world and lay in rest forever. It seems the haunting at the museum is at an end, and she gives him 40 visa points for his trouble. And looks like he got 4,000 simoleons as well. So Sam went and sat on a seat outside to read for a while, and I thought I'd go and check on Craig because he looked like his needs were fairly low, and I found him drinking endless cups of coffee at the Nectary, so I sent him back to base camp. When he'd freshened up, Craig discovered there were no spare beds at the base camp, so he had to pitch his tent out the back. But at least he had somewhere to sleep. At least I thought he did. Some townie or other tourist jumped into his tent before Craig had a chance. Don't know who that is sleeping in his tent already. So after having his shower, Craig heads on out, expects to get into his tent, but he finds a Christine person in there. So Craig walks off and he finds himself a bed. And Christine gets out, and then somebody who looks a lot like Muriel, who we've left behind, comes out there and looks like she's going to get into the tent, but Sam beats her to it. Now, it could actually be a clone of Muriel, I don't know. I've seen other members of the household turn up in worlds when this group shows up in them, visit them, and those other members of the household had been left behind. So there's obviously two members of the household in there, Sam and somebody else. I didn't actually catch who the second one was. But at least they're going to get a bit of a sleep. And Craig's still wanting to know what to do with his tent. Now it's the next morning, and on the day before, when Sam was doing his adventure and putting the remains into the mausoleum, Muriel was given an adventure, and her adventure was verbal advertisement. My store has not been doing well lately. It seems I am not selling what people need. However, you look like a persuasive sim. Could you convince 3 locals to shop at my store? I'll pay you well for your efforts. Objective: speak to 3 sims and convince to visit store. Then return to Bertha Gerard to receive some simoleons. Reward simoleons and visa points. So here we see Muriel trying to convince a sim. She's chosen Elliot St. James, who happens to be the special merchant. And she's got to get pretty friendly with him before she'll have any success. It'll take her quite a while, but she won't stop talking until she gets him to agree to visit the store. So Muriel finally wore down poor Elliot St. James, and then she went outside to find her next target, who turned out to be poor Amy Lefebvre. There's Elliot St. James making his escape, and there's Amy. And she's got Muriel approaching her with a purpose. There she is. Oh, she's going straight past, and now she's going to go back. Problem is, Amy's hungry. She mightn't want to chat. Muriel might be wasting her time here. But they've greeted in a nice, friendly manner. It's like Muriel's going all coy and doesn't know what to say. I'm beginning to think they don't like each other. Ooh, that's not going well, especially if she's got to almost become friends, if not actually become friends, to be able to convince her to visit the store. It's probably best to not try to make friends with somebody who's really hungry at the time. Perhaps Muriel should have chosen her timing a bit better. Well, that seems to have broken the ice a bit. They're having a bit of a happy chat there now. Wonder if no, they're going to have a water balloon fight happening. They should become friends after this, and then she'll be able to convince somebody else to visit the store. Apparently, Amy was out on the street waiting for Craig to turn up because he has to deliver her a bottle of nectar. But Amy is entertaining herself in the meantime, having a water balloon fight with Muriel. And here comes Craig. Muriel can go over there and catch one of those ladybugs. So there's Craig handing over a bottle of nectar. He'll have plenty of nectar in his inventory after the exploring he did at the nectary earlier. He got some visa points and some ancient coins for that nectar. Now she can go and have her lunch. I suppose she's waiting for the nectar to have with her lunch. And here's Muriel. She's entered the cafe and she's having a little chat with the food merchants to see if she can convince him. He'll be the third one she has to convince, and then she will have completed her opportunity. Now these two seem to be getting on really well together, so it shouldn't take her much longer to convince him, but I think I'll skip through most of the chatter because I want to try to get everything done in this video, and we're running out of time. So finally he is convinced, and Muriel is able to run off and report in to Bertha Gerard. Off she goes to report in. Bertha's pleased. She says, "Your efforts have already increased sales by 0.37%. That's a bigger increase than I've seen in years, and after such a short amount of time. I may keep you on retainer. Here is the money promised to you." Muriel has earned 600 simoleons and 30 visa points. Now Craig's been reading in the bookstore, and while he's been reading, he's been thinking about what they should do next. And the time has come for the whole lot of them to go on another journey. And this time, they're going to go to Egypt. So next episode, we'll see them all travelling to Egypt. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Bye for now. Happy simming.